to run this state. And so I take that job very, very seriously.
Wow.
There's 85,000 constituents in my Senate district that I represent. They're all important to me. It's just truly an honor to be able to serve these. These are tremendous, tremendous people.
Today, I have longtime friend, Oklahoma State Senator Chuck Hall. I feel like we need to play the Star Spangled Banner or something.
I tell you, we go way back.
Yes.
This is exciting to
Yes.
be next to you again.
Well, today, I want to talk about Chuck. Not so much politics. We'll throw some in there if you wish.
All right.
But have a pet project or something. But I think we first met, it was more than 20 years ago.
Yes.
We were doing, maybe you had just started actually working in the bank, your family bank. And we were doing TV commercials.
That's right.
And there were never a dull moment. There was always something funny going on.
Oh, that's
with them
right.
or
They were
whatever.
great commercials.
Yep. And then, but you were just telling me that you are a rodeo star.
Well, I don't know if I was a rodeo star or not, but you know, I have a very addictive personality, and so if I'm playing golf, I just go all in.
Sure.
If I'm bass fishing, I go all in. I had a friend from high school that was a team roper.
Okay.
And I went out and watched him do that one day, and I went, "Oh my gosh! I mean, this is the coolest thing ever!" And so I jumped on his horse and tracked a few steers, and it just got into my soul.
Wow.
And so I began this process of team roping. I had young daughters at the time, and we got them into barrel racing. And so the next thing I knew, we were traveling all over the country. I was heading and heeling, and I dabbled a little bit in calf roping. Got so into it that I built an arena over on some property we had there in Perry, and we put on professional level team ropings and barrel racings. I had a great time with it.
Wow. So is that still, I mean, have you given up the horse thing?
You know, it's that rodeo, those that are in that business know that it's a lifestyle. You have to live it and breathe it. Those horses don't feed themselves. And so whenever I ran for office in 2017 and was elected in 2018, I really kind of had to give it up because I committed that this Senate gig was going to be my full-time job.
It's kind of hard to keep the horses at the Capitol.
It's hard to keep them at the Capitol. You know, there was a day when you could ride a horse to the Capitol, but you can't do that anymore.
Nope.
You can't do it anymore. But I miss it, and I hope to get back into it one day.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I didn't know any of that. Yeah. I mean, I knew you was Chuck the banker.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And then, so let's back up even farther. Are you originally from Perry, or where'd you go to school?
Sure, yeah. So I'm a generational family in Noble County. So our family came in the Cherokee Strip Land Run of 1893. Oh. The bank was established in 1896. And so my grandfather was 60 years in the bank. My father was 52 years in the bank. I'm in year 35 in the bank. And now, so that made me the third generation community banker. Now my youngest daughter is in the bank with us. And so she's the fourth generation there at the bank. So I've got an amazing family. They've been very supportive. I've been married to my wife, Amy, for 32 years. We have 3 adult daughters and 6, count them, 6 grandchildren. And I'm so fortunate, Jack, that they've all stayed in and around the Perry area. I have one daughter that lives in Perry and one that lives in Stillwater, of course working for us there at the bank in Stillwater. And then my middle daughter is in Edmond. So they're all within about 45 minutes. And so we get to see them all the time.
Now, we interacted with one of your daughters.
Yes. Riley, the young one.
Riley, and she was we produced a series of dog videos with a book, and it was like for schools, and she was in several of those little shorts. And then we did an Emily Faith music video, and she was the mean girl.
Yes, yeah,
yes,
that's right.
Played that very well.
She might have played it well, but that's not her natural personality. So she must be a good actress to be able to pull that off.
She did good.
You know, the neatest spot that I think that we did together, she was just a baby, like 6 years old, and we were talking about generational banking, and we had her sit behind a desk and pretend like she was the president of the bank, and talking about her training to be president her entire life.
I need to find that.
Which was 6 years. And it was really, So we look back on that fondly to see her grow up now and to be in the bank officially and drawing a paycheck. It's been really cool.
Wow. And then I think I teased you way back. This is before I knew that you were planning to run for Senate, that someday you're going to be a senator. And you just did that. Yeah. Little laugh. And
Yeah.
So why did you decide to do that?
Well, my political career truly started at the local level, and so.
Oh, you were the mayor.
That's right. So so I was actually in municipal politics for 20 years. I started as the city treasurer for the city of Perry, served 2 terms in that capacity, and then moved on to the city council, and then was elected to 2 terms as mayor of the city of Perry. Went on to be the vice chair of the Oklahoma Municipal League, and so really got into statewide municipal government. That's where I really cut my teeth in that. My predecessor decided not to seek her 3rd term in the Senate and reached out to me. We had developed a relationship through my work in municipal government. And she said, I think you would be good for this. And I said, well, a lot of people have talked about whether or not I would go to the state capitol. My family and I really thought about it, prayed about it. It was a good time for us. And so we ran, and so blessed and honored that the citizens of Senate District 20 said, hey, we'd like you to be our state senator. I've served now almost 2 complete terms. And we'll be seeking, of course, re-election for my 3rd and final term coming this June will be the primary, but truly blessed. This Senate district is amazing. It's expansive. I have all of Pawnee County. I have all of Noble County. I have about half of Kingfisher County.
You said it goes south to Dover?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep, it goes south to Dover, and then we go back east, and then I get into almost all of Logan County. So geographically, from Keystone Lake Dam to Hennessy, south to Dover, all the way to Waterloo Road, because I have most of Logan County. So, but it's been amazing. This is, truly the heart of kind of where I've lived and breathed my whole life. And so it's just truly an honor to be able to serve these. These are tremendous, tremendous people. They've been very, very good to me. I hope I've been responsive to their needs. And
you actually return phone calls.
I do. I
Yes.
do. I absolutely do that. I think that's important. Transparency is something I think we've really lacked in our government. And what I've found is, and I tell a lot of my colleagues the same thing, is that people just want to know that you're listening, right? I mean, I think that's the most important thing about what we do. A lot of times we get elected, and I had a good friend told me, we're going to send you down to Oklahoma City. Don't ever forget where you came from. And I think that was true and accurate advice. And I live to that mantra. I don't forget where I came from.
Well, I like, anytime I've interacted with you on a subject, you if you feel that you can help, you say and if you can't, you explain why. And it's none of this voodoo stuff. It's, you're very open with the goods and the bads.
Well, thank you for that. I think that comes from my banking background. I'd like to approve every loan that somebody, presents to me. But the truth of the matter is that, I can't do every loan for a host of different reasons. And so I've found in working with people that even if your answer hurts their ears, if you are upfront with them and you explain the reasons why, they may not be happy, but they know, and it gives them an opportunity to change course and to try. I always try to find a way to yes. Sure. In all my dealings, I try to find a way to yes, and if it's not there, I let them know, and I let them know, what I can do and what I'll work toward to try to get to that answer.
So how different is it now being in as opposed to wanting to be in? Did you learn some things?
Well, of course you learn some things. Now, in a previous life, before my father became ill and I went back to the bank and took over operations there, I actually worked in government relations for the Oklahoma Bankers Association. And so I was very familiar with the Capitol. I was familiar with how a bill becomes law. And so I really kind of helped. I think that helped in my first election because the citizens could send me to the Capitol and I could hit the ground running. A lot of new legislators come in and they're like, my goodness, what did I get myself into? And it takes them 2 or 3 years to kind of understand the process and to be able to be an effective member on behalf of their constituency. So this has allowed me to hit the ground running. The pro tem at the time knew about my finance background. I was the first freshman in recent history to have been appointed to a leadership position. I was vice chair of the Senate Finance Committee. And so the Finance Committee works on tax policy for the state of Oklahoma, the revenues for the state.
Okay.
And then I'd worked in that capacity for 2 or 3 years, and then they moved me over to appropriations. And it was a beautiful marriage of what I had learned. So I learned where the revenues come from, and then I was learning how we spend the money, the expenses of the state. And so I was really a good fit for that. Now I serve as the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee. My number one task—
You don't have to sign all those checks, do you?
well, I don't have to sign all the checks, but I certainly have to approve the appropriation. I have about 78 state agencies under my purview.
Oh my gosh.
And so we are truly funding the core services of state government. It's not always an easy task, but Oklahoma has been in a very good financial position of late, so we've been able to do some really good, unique things that I think have improved the quality of life for Oklahomans.
You know, I think that's the part that most don't realize is, though you have the title and people see you out at events and things like that, but they don't realize you have like a job.
Yes.
You know, you have, you're on committees, and that's, you know, what you have to work with. And
Well, I hope that people take the time to, to really appreciate, some of the sacrifice that our fellow legislators, my fellow friends in the legislature have to go through. I mean, so not only do I have the job as the appropriations chair, and the committee work and the preparation associated with planning for the state budget, but I still have my job back home. By the Constitution, we're a part-time legislature. But that's kind of the biggest joke of all. I mean, listen, whenever I asked the citizens to vote for me and allow me to become their state senator, I was a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week state senator. My phone rings, I get emails on weekends, calls on weekends, when we're in session, when we're not in session. And so I am constantly listening to the constituents of what their needs and their concerns are. But the thing that I find the most joy in is how we can help the citizens, right? It doesn't always take a bill. It may be that you need some wraparound services with DHS, or you may need a street repair or a bridge repair on a state highway. I have the ability to call that agency director directly and say, I have a constituent issue back home. They'll pick up the phone on the first ring, and I'll set an expectation that they deliver for my citizens. And so, as a mayor, I think all politics are local. Somebody asked me one time, do you like the state senator being mayor, better? You could affect change more quickly as a mayor because it's right there local, and I could really drive policy. I have 48 other members 47 other members in the Senate and 101 members in the House that I have to convince, at least the majority, that my deal is a good thing. And so what I hope I leave, whenever I leave this office, and hopefully it's another 4 years from now, is that he was responsive, that he didn't forget where he came from, that we could make the call, and he would get people to reach out and take care of our issues.
Wow, very, very cool. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Now, do you have any pet projects that you're working on? Something that you're just excited about?
Well, so most recently, I was able to appropriate the largest single recurring investment in county road and bridge funding in state history. And so I am very thrilled and honored to have been a part of the appropriating team that made that happen. For years, we went through some serious floods. We went through some storm damage. And so we had a situation, particularly out in rural Oklahoma, where we couldn't get the mail through, where we couldn't get school buses were losing axles. For public safety, the ambulances couldn't get to people's homes because the roads were in such bad shape. And I just said, enough's enough. We have to fund the ability, to have good quality county roads and bridges. They need to be safe. County government was really not doing very well on their funding, and the road funding formula is very complex. And I said, look, let's simplify this thing. I want every county in the state of Oklahoma to have at least $4,000 per road mile. I worked with our county commissioners in every one of my districts. They said that would really move the needle. It's a $75 million investment that's recurring that I really hope that Oklahomans, particularly in rural Oklahoma, will start to see a great benefit of improved roads. We've got to get the mail through. And we've got to get the ambulance through when it needs it, and we've got to get these kids to school on time, no matter what the weather is. So this was important to me. There's a lot of talk around the Capitol about what we're doing with the red cedars and the red cedar eradication. There's a bill out there called the Terry Peach program that is designed to fund the eradication, hopefully the complete eradication of these red cedars. Not only are they a fire hazard, but they drink an enormous amount of water.
I heard that each tree drinks like 50 gallons a day or something.
An enormous amount of water. So that kind of eradication, we saw the fires that we had this past year, and a lot of that could have been staved off if it wasn't for all the cedars. And then the water usage. I mean, look, that's a natural resource that we have to protect. And if we're going to build for future generations, that's a resource that we have to protect, and this is a way to do that. So those are two key things. But as Senate Appropriations Chair, I think my fundamental job and duty is to fund the core services of government. And so that's my intent to do that and to be as fiscally responsible as I possibly can. It's your tax dollars, Jack, that I'm up there spending, and I have to come back to the district and answer to that. And so I want to always be prepared, to have a good answer for how we spent your hard-earned dollars that you sent to us to run this state. And so I take that job very, very seriously.
Wow. Well, we appreciate all you do, and
thank you.
You're always available.
Yes,
At
sir.
least whenever I call or text you, you come right back pretty quickly, and answered a lot of questions on our community, Hennessy, and things like that. And we are now experiencing the benefit of the county the county appropriation with several new bridges, and they just redid the road in my area. So it's
100%. Well, that makes me feel good. So we're starting to see the benefits of that. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what it does in the years to come.
Awesome. So when's the next election for you?
So the next election is the primary election in June of 2026.
Oh, coming up.
And so, yes,
Right
coming
now.
up. So
Yeah.
we're, all of us, half the Senate and all of the House of Representatives are running for re-election. I did not have an opponent the last time the last election cycle. I have an opponent this year. We're working hard. We're taking it very seriously. And I'm going to do my absolute best to hopefully return and continue to do work on behalf of the citizens of Senate District 20. There's 85,000 constituents in my Senate district that I represent. They're all important to me. This is my home. I want all the benefits that I can possibly send this direction, and I'm in a good position to do that as the Appropriations Chair. So would love the citizens to send me back. Be my third and final term. It's been an honor. It's been probably the greatest honor of my lifetime to serve and represent the constituents of Senate 20.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Chuck.
Jack, thank you. It's great to see you again,
Same
man.
here.
I've enjoyed this conversation.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned.